Hello and welcome back to the Workbench. I'm Bill, and behind me is the Workbench. On the Workbench today, I purchased a stadium truck, or they call it a short course truck from FMS. So let's open it up and see what it's all about, and hopefully it's what I think it is, because I have been looking for a stadium truck for a while, because I wanted to see how they were made, because I've got some ideas on things to do. Let's head over to the Workbench and check it out. Well, here it is, the Chaser from FMS. It is considered a short course truck. I got the purple one, really wanted the red one. Hit the wrong button, ordered the purple one. Is what it is. But here's all the info on it. You're welcome to pause it and read it if you'd like, or go to their website. But let's open this thing up, see what we got. All right, FMS. They make great stuff. But the styrofoam they use is just it's a step above the rest, I would say. It's a styrofoam you really don't want to throw away. You want to keep it because it's such good quality styrofoam. I did some reading in the manual here and found out that FMS took their inspiration from the Baja 1000 trucks to make this one. It has a very sturdy chassis, they say. So let's open it up and take a look. The body clip thing is a real joy to remove. Not. And they could have done, well, it might get better over time after you play with it for a while. But it is what it is. The other thing I found on it, because I've already opened this switch, in my opinion, is in the wrong spot. They should have placed it, and there is enough wire to place it. Unplug this. They should have placed it like down here like this, so that you could get access to it with the body on and turn the car off and on. But I digress. Whatever. That may be a mod that I will do to this thing in the future. We'll find out. It does have nice battery connections on it. It has the XT30s, which I like the XT30s. One of the things you can get with the XT30 is you can get one of these things, and this is a battery discharger, and it discharges your LiPo batteries down to the safe storing voltage. So this just plugs right in, and away you go, and it will do its job in discharging your battery. Use those all the time, like them a lot. So let's talk about the features of this truck. One, it's inspired by the Baja that we talked about, the Baja trucks, the short course trucks, and those kinds of trucks. It does have the trailing arm suspension, which I am quite excited to see. It does have front independent suspension as well. I have found that the front suspension on this thing is much nicer than the back suspension. The rear suspension just doesn't float like the front suspension does. So we're going to have to look and see if we can improve that with maybe some different shocks and building a different shock mount for that as well. Not much room in here to replace the motor. You got to find a motor that fits. That's all right. I'm sure there's one. We'll see if we can find one. It does have two servos, which you've noticed, because this has a 2-speed transmission, a high speed and a low speed. One of the RC reviewer guys talked about that and said the 2-speed transmission really didn't make much of a difference for him. We're going to find out if it does or not for us. The steering radius on this seems to be lacking as well. So let's find the remote. Here's the remote. We'll turn this on, plug this in, turn this on. You can see the steering. Well, it does look, it isn't too bad, but I haven't tried it yet. And, I'm used to the crawlers where they've got lots of travel, lots of steering movement. But again, I haven't driven it yet. We're going to find out together when we take it out in the dirt. It does have a lot of toe out when you compress it. I don't know if that's going to be a problem or not. Again, we'll find out when we go take it outside. The manual has a lot of great information in it. I recommend that this would be one of the manuals you would read and you would look through while you're waiting to charge it. It tells you that background of how they wanted this to be inspired by that Baja 1000 rally. It gives you some information about the rally as well, and then about the model and how fast it should go with its 370 motor in it. It gives you your specifications, what the things do. At first I thought this transmitter didn't have much to it, but it does. It has a lot to it if you just read the instructions on how to do the different things. You can set all the different settings. Well, not all the different settings. You can set a lot of the settings that you would want to set in here. You can set the calibration of the stick. You can bind it. You know, all those normal things. But what it does add is the ability to reset it should you make a mistake in your settings. Quite nice. 3 channels. It talks about the idle alarm. It hasn't been used for 10 minutes. It's going to start beeping at you, which is great. Sleep mode, low voltage alarms, you know, all that kind of stuff. You can also change the ESC running modes if you'd like. So you can make it so that it's forward and reverse, or forward reverse brake, or forward brake reverse, or, you know, all those different kinds of things with the different kinds of braking percentages. So if you're into that kind of stuff, you can adjust it right in here. You don't have to replace the remote if you don't want to. So lots of good things in here to read, all about how to build the shocks, all of that, the servo saver, all the different parts, how they go together. It has a full bearing set. Here's the transmission, the 2-speed transmission in it. So let's take a look at how that 2-speed transmission works. You have a switch right here on the remote. It's switch number 3. If you switch it all the way forward, the switch all the way forward, it'll be in high speed mode. If you switch it all the way back, and you're going to hear a click when you do that as it switches the gears and gets meshed again. That is the low speed mode. If you put it in the center, it's in neutral, which is kind of neat as well. Don't know why you'd want it, but you know, it does do it, so that's kind of cool. It does have a lot of torque, a lot of get up and go. Whoa, look at that. So that is nifty and cool. It does have a pretty low center of gravity, I would think. The chassis, to me, though, that's where this thing is shining, because this is all one piece of chassis-ness. So, yeah, if it breaks, you got to replace the whole thing, but it does make it pretty strong and pretty stiff. That is a plus, in my opinion. It does have the front bumper on there to protect it. You can replace that just by replacing the 4 screws on it, and you would use a 1.5 millimeter hex driver to get that off, or the Allen wrench that's included in the kit. Don't know why you'd want to use the Allen wrench included in the kit unless you don't have one of these, but you know, do yourself a favor. If you're going to be in this hobby and you're going to tinker, get yourself a nice set of Allen wrenches. So without further ado, let's take it outside and see what it does. We're going to go see if we can find a place that represents the Baja 1000 out there in the deserts around Las Vegas. crawl. All right, we'll go into first gear. You hear a click. There it is. Yes, it will crawl. Bigger obstacle, shall we? Well, it'll crawl if the obstacles are small enough. There it goes. We are back, going outside, playing in the dirt. Now, granted, I didn't really give it a fair test. I will give it that. The rocks were a little bit big. You know, they're 24 times bigger than you think. But I think we can gather some thoughts on this, the good, the bad, and the ugly, I guess. Well, first, it's a little bit difficult to take the body on and off. Second, the 2-speed transmission, although is a novel idea and is probably a good seller for them, there's no reason. Here's the slow speed. This is actual speed. It's too slow. It's not a crawler. It doesn't need that. It has enough torque, as you can see here from the starts. And yeah, it's yeah. The rear suspension, as I anticipated, needs some help. It's a bit stiff when I see it out there doing its stuff, but we can fix that, I think. So what are the goods? Well, it looks cool. It's inexpensive. It is built pretty well, and I think there are rooms for improvement. Why is that a good? Well, that's good because there's things we can do to make it better. So yeah, if you're interested in trying to figure out how I'm going to make this thing better, how I'm going to make it faster, please subscribe. Do all those things. So where is this thing? Where do I think this thing shines? I think it shines as a trail truck. I think it's going to shine in a short track situation. It'll probably shine real short track. Doesn't have much top speed, but yeah, it'll shine in that. The steering was okay at high speed, but it wasn't very great at low speed. The radio worked well. The electronics worked well. The thing worked well out of the box. It didn't break. Nothing was broken. Everything worked great. So yeah, what do I think you should do? I don't know if you should buy one of these or not. If you're interested in this thing for tooling around the yard with your kid, it's a lot of fun. It would be a lot of fun for that because it is slow enough, or it's just fast enough where that it would be a lot of fun. It'll probably jump well, be good in the backyard. If you want this to race other things of this class in a race, I don't think this is going to beat anything. It might if you're a great driver, though. So, overall, am I happy with the purchase? I think so. I've wanted one of these. I think there is some room for improvement. I think there is some opportunity for improvement. Yeah, I'm going to keep it, and we'll see it more on the channel. Thanks for watching, and have fun out there doing your RC stuff.